Revelation 21, 2, 3, and so on. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. And then it goes on to talk about, Randy, there's not going to be any more death, there's not going to be any mourning, no more crying. God's going to wipe all that away from us, the sickness, the pain, the death. This place that is being described here is where God says we're going. And let's define terms for folks that are just joining us this week. We've got present heaven. If we were to die right now, we're talking about present heaven. What's that like? And what is future heaven? Because that's kind of a different concept for folks. Define terms for us.
Present heaven is where you go when you die. In theology, it's called the intermediate heaven. I don't prefer that term, but it's often used. But the present heaven, you just go to be with Jesus wherever that is. We know that that's somewhere outside of our present existence, something that we can't see, but we get hints of this in 2 Kings chapter 6, for instance, where you've got Elisha and his servant, and he says, Lord, open your servant's eyes, and the servant sees these horses and these chariots, these warriors. Well, they didn't just suddenly come into existence. They were already there. It's just that the servant couldn't see them. And so sometimes there are indications that would suggest that maybe heaven is almost a parallel universe where we can't see it, but it's right there. It's physical, it's real, it's tangible, but we normally can't see it. But the future heaven is the new heavens and the new earth, which is just a synonym for the new universe, a redeemed universe. And that's where we are going to live forever, and God's going to come down and dwell with his people. So the present heaven is being with Jesus. The future heaven is being with Jesus, but the difference is the present heaven is not down here on this earth. The future heaven will be on this earth where heaven and earth are joined together under Christ, as we're told in Ephesians 1.
Yeah, just describe the new Jerusalem, the city that we're all going to be absent from the bodies, be present with the Lord, and in his beautiful city. How big is this city? What are the things we're going to find in this city? Describe it as it is right now.
We know that it's huge. We're told that man's measurement was used by this angel, and it's a 1,400-mile cube. Now, we're told that New Jerusalem is in heaven now, and the New Jerusalem that's brought down to earth is that size. And even for those who say, well, that's not literal, that's just figurative. Well, if it's figurative, it's certainly intended to convey a great amount of size, just huge. And I think what this should tell us is there's room for everything, and lots of room, things to do, places to go, people to see. We're told in Revelation 22, his servants will serve him. Do servants ever have a lack of things to do? We're told we're going to rule the world for the glory of God. Do rulers ever have a lack of things to do? So certainly we will have plenty of activity, and the greatest part of it, of course, is we'll be with God, who is the source of all good and all happiness.
Talk about in that new city, there's going to be the river of life. What is that, and why do we need it?
The river of life, I think, is a literal river that's flowing down from the throne of God, because we know the tree of life, which is said to be growing on both sides of the river, is a literal tree. We see the tree of life. It was an actual tree that bore fruit, and it was in the Garden of Eden. And they could eat the fruit of that tree and all the other trees. The one they couldn't was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But that tree of life that disappears in Eden when the gates are shut is used figuratively a couple of times in the book of Proverbs, but literally reoccurs in Revelation 2, where we're told that the tree of life is in the paradise of God. And then it appears one last time in Revelation 22, where the tree of life is growing on both sides of the river. So the tree of life is this literal, actual tree. So I think the river is literal, that is growing on both sides of. It says it produces a new fruit every month. It says the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. So somehow it will be the source of ongoing nourishment, ongoing life. And we will not be infinite. We will not be without need. The difference is our needs will always be met. It's not that we will never eat, it's that we'll never go hungry because there will always be plenty to eat.